Okay, let's start again. Good morning. How's everyone? This is going to be a Zoom session, which is live. It's happening live now, but it will be recorded and archived on either my site or YouTube account. So who knows when you'll come across this. So today, right now, we have, I am the only one in this session, and that is fine because I take the opportunity whenever I am here to try to get a general type of session in for everyone. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's begin. Hi, welcome to the Personal Storytelling Workshop, where I use a personal storytelling tool to create opportunities for social engagement and self-inquiry in my art practice. The tool is a card deck, this one, inspired by the artwork of Luigi Savon, Philip Thomas, Mafalda Mondestein, and also my own work. So today we're going to read a passage from a bit of Caribbean literature. I thought that's a perfect story. You know, it's coming from Sun Song Tide Rising, which this is a book or a text, an anthology of poetry that I grew up with while I was in school. You know, we all had to, in my era, we had to take this if you were doing literature, and you had to kind of excel at studying these poems and writing about them. So I'm going back there to study one of these poems, and then we'll see how we can pull that into a reflection using the cards. We're going to come up with alternatives, and if you have comments, it depends on who joins at that point, and also conclusions. Then I'm going to open up to the public, and if we don't have a public at that point, then I will shift into a general session. All right, and that will be it. So let's get started. All right, so let's flip through and see what we have. All right, so I think I have a poem that seems like I would love to explore the themes in it. So this one it's called Mary's Song. I know with my blurred screen, it's so difficult to see. I think it's this one. No, it's this one, yeah. All right, so let's read it through and just kind of get an impression of it. He never learned her quite. Year after year, that territory without seasons shifted under his eye. An hour he could be lost in the walled anger of her quarried hurt, or turning, see cool water laughing where the day before there were stones in her voice. He charted, she made wilderness again. Roads disappeared. The map was never true. Wind brought him rain sometimes, tasting of sea. And suddenly she would change the shape of shores, faultlessly calm. All was each day new. The shadows of her love shortened or grew, like trees seen from an unexpected hill. New country at each jaunty, helpless journey. So he accepted that geography, constantly strange, wandered, stayed home increasingly to find his way among the landscapes of her mind. Okay, so there's a lot there. I'm gonna just grab my pencil and see if I can make some notes based on this. So let's put this here. All right, and so now I'm shifting to the other camera. All right. Let's pause or share. All right, so here we have, wonder if you can see that, yeah. All right, so for me, that poem made me think about, okay, so it's called Mary's Song. All right, and then Mary's Song made me think of something to do with marriage and let's see, marriage. All right, what else did it make me think of? It made me think of maybe a couple. All right, and then it made me think of complexity in a relationship. Okay, I should put relationship as well. Okay, so I felt there was marriage, there was a couple, there was complexity, a relationship, and also there was the psychology of the relationship. Okay, yeah. All right, so I have those words. I'm gonna read it again. Welcome to new participants. The session is being recorded. Okay, so I'm gonna just read this again. He never learned her quite. Year after year, that territory without seasons shifted under his eye. An hour he could be lost in the wild anger of her quarried hurt, or turning sea cool water laughing where the day before there were stones in her voice. He charted, she made wilderness again. Roads disappeared, the map was never true. Wind brought him rain sometimes, tasting of sea, and suddenly she would change the shape of shores, faultlessly calm. All was each day new. The shadows of her love shortened or grew, like trees seen from an unexpected hill. New country at each jaunty, helpless journey. So he accepted that geography, constantly strange, wandered, stayed home increasingly to find his way among the landscapes of her mind. Okay, so yeah, that brings out more things. We're just exploring this poem, Mary's Song by Jenny Scott. And we're going to go into the card session quite soon. And then we'll open up to individuals. All right, so here we have, I found some more words. I thought, okay, this person is lost, is feeling lost or confused. This person is almost being swallowed up by this relationship. All right, so we have quite a few words here that I've written down. All right, so what I would love to do now is I'm gonna put this up here and we can consult this whenever ready. Let's get into the cards and then we're going to do this first exploration of that story before we do the individuals. All right, so this is a personal storytelling tool and we're gonna unpack our cards. All right, it comes with question cards, which totally could be used on its own, but for today, and I'm gonna use it in the individual sessions, but now I'm going to just look at the images. All right. We have all these cards here. All right, so let's look at that word. I wanna look at marriage and a couple with complexity. or some kind of relationship. I'm gonna flip through. Okay, already I think that that's like, that image describes some kind of complexity of a relationship. So I'm gonna put that aside here. All right, then we have psychology. All right, I feel like that's related, but not quite. Not quite. You know that part where he talks about the mind, there's no road. I feel like maybe this is a jumble. So I'm gonna put that to my pile. There is, there's this word here, lost. I feel like this person is lost. I'm gonna add that to my pile. Okay, confused, I like that. This person has too much independence for the person that we read about in the poem. All right, so let's go through. This feels like this confusion. Okay, so let me add that to the pile. A relationship. Okay, I'm looking at this one because there's two people, or there's two figures here. So I'm gonna use this one. All right, so let me just use those. I think we have something to work with now. All right, so let's spread these out. All right, so we have a set of images here. And I'm just gonna bring back our list of words: marriage, couple, complexity, relationship, psychology, lost, confused, and swallowed. All right, let's see if we can see that here. All right, so I do see something of a relationship here, and maybe some kind of feeling of being lost because there's a smaller and there's a more dominant figure. This also feels like being lost or confused. Complexity is what I see in these two. Something that's also that that road that he's lost his way, and maybe something here about psychology, or this one maybe. All right, so I'm just gonna read the poem again and see how this set of images tells the story. And then I'm gonna turn it over to participant to have, if you have a comment, if you wanna say something about the story that we have set up, please do after we go through this poem now. Okay. Mary song, he never learned her quite. Year after year, that territory without seasons shifted under his eye. An hour he could be lost in the wild anger of her quarried hurt, or turning, see cool water laughing, where the day before there were stones in her voice. He charted, she made wilderness again. Roads disappeared. The map was never true. Wind brought him rain sometimes, tasting of sea. And suddenly she would change the shape of shores, faultlessly calm. Each day new. The shadow of her love shortened or grew. Like trees seen from an unexpected hill. New country at each jaunty, helpless journey. So he accepted that geography constantly strange, wandered, stayed home, increasingly to find his way among the landscapes of her mind. Okay, all right, so we get something. We do get something. All right, I'm gonna unmute our participants, and please do tell me what you think about this story. Are we unmuted? No, I think I asked to okay. I'm asking to unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me turn the volume up. Yes, go ahead.
The volume is okay?
Yeah, volume is fine.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to come to terms with it.
And I know you came in after I had done the intros and read the first poem, so it is a little bit disorienting already.
Right, but still, I'm looking at the pictures. I'm looking at the drawings,
mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to understand the relationship between the pictures and the story.
Okay. Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is perhaps confusion in the man's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because in a way, that's what the story is about, and also what the pictures are not straightforward, straight lines, but a mass of things, which I guess is what happens when you're confused.
Yeah, I guess so too. It can be like a mass of things.
Right.
Okay. All right. So we have a well, we're gonna move into the private sessions now. We have about, I think we have 20 minutes. So before this session ends, so we're gonna move into the private sessions with you. So I'm gonna pause this video a little bit. And then if you're able to put your camera back on, that would be great. If you don't want to, that's also fine. Okay. All right, so today's participant is actually Fitz Russell, my father.
Hello, the confused one.
Thank you for coming to the session.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start. I'm going to lay these out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
Let me actually find my intro so that I can remember all the things that's gonna happen so that you're not confused.
Okay.
All right, so now we're gonna open up for one-on-one sessions. Each session can last about 10 minutes in length or more. If no one else is here, we can go longer with your session. The sessions are casual conversations between me and you, where I use the cards to help you tell me your story prompted by the questions.
Okay.
This session, you will be speaking with me, and I will just be here to hear and gently guide you through the storytelling process. If you would like to do a session, please raise your hand or put it in the chat, but you're already here, so there's no need for that. All right, so let me get my, okay, so these are the cards. We're using the image cards.
Okay.
So you have had a little bit of a look at them already. So they are not all illustrative in nature. they are, as you can see, a little bit more abstract, so that opens up the kind of things you can project on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to get my other camera on and show you them from my perspective. Okay. All right, so the first thing we have here in our question cards is choose two to three cards, sorry, that appeal to you. So I'm going to help you with that process.
All right.
Go through, and whatever stands out to you, you have a think in your mind who is fits or what is happening for me right now. I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to just kind of solidify that in your mind, whatever it is you're feeling. And so let's go 30 seconds.
Will I be seeing other cards, or will I just say yes, no, yes, no?
There'll be other cards. These cards, I will move them to the side, and you can tell me yes or no, I don't want that. Or you can just say yes, and I'll put it to the side. So do have a think about what it is what story you want to tell today. Is it that I woke up feeling upset, or I woke up feeling really calm, or right, today is a very busy day, or I have had a difficult last year, or whatever it is. So I'm going to give you that 30 seconds so that you know what to look for in the story.
Look for. Okay, right. All right, okay.
30 seconds on the clock for you to think about that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
You're good? All right. That wasn't quite 30, but okay. All right. So now that you know what your story is that you want to kind of express, let me go closer. Is that better? Yeah, probably.
Okay.
All right. So this is the first one. Let me see.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's upside down. All right. So
let's start with that one.
Okay.
Let's choose that one. No. No. Can I come back to one?
Yes, I'll put that aside then. All right. So we have this one. Now we're choosing from this pile.
No. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. How many am I supposed to choose?
Well, we have 3 already, so we could stop here.
All right, okay.
Or you could, if you want to keep looking, and then you kind of narrow it down, which approach do you want to have?
I'll work with the 3.
Okay, all right. All right.
You'll understand that I am kind of exploring.
Yes, for sure. And it can be overwhelming looking at these images which you've never seen before.
No, it's not that I'm overwhelmed, just that I have a notion in my mind as to the emotion and sentiment that I'm.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we have this one, and this one. And so let me put, this was a maybe. This card was a maybe. Do you want to add it, or you want to take it?
Yeah, we can add it, yeah.
All right, so in that case, let me do 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. Okay, so we have, this is the kind of story that we're presenting now image-wise. All right. And so I'll just help you, kind of guide you to see what I see, and you can tell me if that confirms the story or not.
All right.
So like, what does this one signify for you? What did you think this one?
Perspective.
Okay, all right, perspective.
From now to some point in the future.
Okay, future perspective. All right, and then what about this one?
It's a thing that has been happening with me recently, which is basically a reflection on the past.
On the past, okay, all right. And then what about this one?
The two bottom ones are in fact, they're very different pictures, but kind of represent the same kind of image.
Okay.
In my mind.
Okay. All right. So these two are trying to describe something together, but they're like they represent something in different ways of the same aspect.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I've just gotten a notification that we have 10 minutes left. So we can get to a story here. All right. So we have perspective. We have a sense of reflecting on the past.
Yeah.
And then we have, what is this? Is this an unknown thing that you're trying to describe?
It's like where I am right now. It's the humanity of life, I guess.
Okay.
We're somewhere between the past and the present, which maybe or may not be now. That that there's confusion and you're drifting in an uncontrolled kind of way.
Okay. So like there's a drifting in an uncontrolled way.
Yeah. And that is why I said although they're very different pictures, they represent the same kind of feeling, emotion.
Okay. So
that has to do with your health, your age, your prospects, your where you're able to go, what you're able to do, what you're not able to do. The 101 different things that will appear in your mind that you can't make sense of it. You just have to go with it.
Okay. Going with the flow.
Kind of thing.
Okay. All right.
If that makes sense to you.
That's an expansive story of past and present and futures. All right. So we have, let's see if we can say that now. So we have, this is a perspective of somewhere between now and the future.
Right.
And because of that, I'm guessing we are somehow reflecting. We're in reflection mode. And the reflection mode seems to have unearthed a sense that we actually don't have a sense of control. We have a sense of, okay, all these things are happening there. I think there are a lot of things that I can do and I can no longer do as well. So even though there's increase in what I can do, there's also decrease in what I can do. I don't know, does that?
And also, well, also what I was able to do, like I would get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and just out of the blue, you start to reflect the kinds of physical progress that you had, that the kinds of games you used to play to a very high extent, the kinds of strength you had, and then all of a sudden, it's no longer there.
Yeah.
And trying to make sense of it all.
Okay. Yeah. I guess it does. So it's really the process of aging.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because of that, you kind of feel helpless in a way, is what I'm seeing. And from what you're describing, it's like I don't really have control over this anymore, in a sense that youth allowed me to think that I had control. And so it's like I'm drifting. You realize you're drifting in a continuum of time, of which you don't really know where it will end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the very first one.
Yes.
The very first one, through the perspective.
Yeah.
So
you mean like you may end up here?
Or somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. So right now it's just like, all I can do is think about it, ready myself, and just flow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
because to my mind, in my mind, everything is clear. Once you get out of the mind, that's it.
Once you get out of the mind, what happens?
That's it.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
It's two different states of being. Two different states of being.
Okay.
There's the in-mind being, and then there's the real world physical being. Okay.
So there's this is the physicality. Does this represent the physicality or
right?
Okay, so that's like, okay, physically I'm here, I'm able to just reflect, but then this is like how you have to prepare your mind in a way, a mindset. Yeah. Okay.
So in fact, perhaps I don't know if this one is going to make sense. The very last one, which is the mass of stuff there. I guess where we are right now, the goal would be to be able to change that into an orderly kind of thing instead of a mass of things. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if we can pull. We have like 2 minutes left. Let's see if we can quickly pull a card for where we might want to end up then. All right, so we can have a kind of conclusion to our story. All right, so let's choose that thing that we're supposed to end up at. Let's just
put that one aside. Put that one aside for now.
This one?
No, the one that has the line.
This one. Okay. All right, that one.
I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about this one? Not so much?
Not so much.
Right, what about this one?
To my mind, the best one by far so far was that one that I chose.
Okay. All right. So a conclusion point for this kind of reflective moment about physicality and also mental preparedness and like future states of being is this right here. Why did you choose this?
Because it kind of presents a a set of interconnected interconnection that it is not abstract. It's, I guess, if one's mind can get there from the mass of the mass, then by that time you'll know what it means.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to wrap up on that. We're about to
okay.
leave the session. So thank you so much for coming. And we certainly can talk more after. I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.
All the best. Thank you for attending the personal storytelling workshop.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Anybody else listening?